Yo, man. Nah, I like Taxstone. I don't know what's going on with the brother. I don't know what happened to him when I first seen him on the internet. He was a little bit of an inspiration. I do know guys like him, so it was easy to listen to him. I wasn't in a podcast like that, but I was fucking with Taxstone shit. I think at that point when he had first hit the scene, I had just got into truck driving and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Driving for a living, shall we say? And so listening to stuff like that while I was driving was the thing to do. Now, the whole situation that happened with him, I was very disappointed. Not disappointed because shit don't happen, but disappointed because his whole standpoint was staying out of them situations, period. And staying out of them situations by not even allowing yourself access to things that cause those situations, i.e. even being in places or being out. And I was taking his advice. I was applying it to my real life because when you get out the streets and you go legit, it's only so many people that you could talk to. You know, sad to say, it's only so many people that understand, and then it's not like most of the people you was in the streets with are trying to get out the streets and go legit either. And it's not like most of the people you legit with understand the transitioning or the difference in the money and all of these other things that matter but don't matter. I was very disappointed. I never in a million years expected, when I saw that shit happen, I thought it was fucked up for Troy Ave, but I never in a million years expected Taxstone to be involved in that shit. As a matter of fact, I looked at that shit like, damn, this would Taxstone be talking about Troy Ave. Then months later, to find out, because Troy Ave didn't say shit. Gotta get a man his credit. He sat in jail for, I think, a solid 2 months. Trying to get out, trying to get bail, trying to work his jerk without mentioning nobody's name. Then all out of nowhere, Taxstone get arrested. Now, outside of New York, we not hip to the inner workings of these things. We know what we see on the internet. What they post, what they say, what they like, what they follow. We know that. So, seeing him getting arrested, and then the day after he get arrested, a letter comes out to the judge. Who wrote it, I don't know. But it was from his side, and it's his lawyer. He got control over his lawyer. Basically calling Troy Ave a menace, talking about him having other guns, him being a bully, and this, that, and the other. It didn't look so good. That was a no-no. That was a no-no. That was the first, because if it's all street shit, that was the first no-no I seen in the case. And that's just my unbiased self. And like I said, I fucks with Taxstone. He even followed me on Instagram. I follow him. I fuck with Troy Ave too, you know. I didn't get hip to Troy. And it's the funny thing. I didn't know who Troy Ave was until I heard Tax go in on him. And then I went to go find out who Troy Ave was. Found out who Troy Ave was. I know everybody was talking about the New York album and whatnot. But I found other songs outside of that I like. So I started fucking with Troy Ave. And then he a little arrogant motherfucker. He a little annoying. But also, I understand. He's also a dude that was in the streets that found something legit to do. So I get it. But this, I don't get it. I don't know who this big loon dude is, but I'm imagining he has to work or be connected to Charlemagne. But we gonna dig into this and check this out.
Like these are not dudes that he think and felt like, yo, this dude got a strong skill set and we can collaborate on work, or you're a marketer, you can work here, you're a producer, you do beats. No, these is dudes that actually was a fan of him and kept reaching out to him, and then next thing you know, he's hanging with them. The thing is that he kept them in fan positions.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
But see, my thing is this: you call it the Joe Budden show, but you can't do Joe Budden Dolo without going to sleep.
Right.
This is why he always needs company. You know, his podcast started. I'll name this podcast later. It was him and Marissa Mendez, and then after that, you know what the.
Now this is what people was accusing Shannon Sharpe of. First of all, he talking about Joe Budden, but this is what the people accusing Shannon Sharpe of. He said, "Well, the whole thing with fans." I feel Joe Budden on that. And I do like that he do that. Shit, he let my YouTube page eat. Joe Budden let his fans take his content. Joe Budden let his fans do all type of shit that a lot of celebrities don't do. Sometimes us as supporters and fans take clips out his shows and it get more views than his clips. And he don't say shit. He one of the only major content creators that's not a hater. So to turn that into a negative, dog should have pushed back on that. But he didn't. Why? Because he riding for Charlemagne. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes shit fake. Because it don't matter which side of the clock you on. Straight up and down is 6 o'clock. And if you on the wrong side of 6 o'clock, you on the wrong side of 6 o'clock. My mans are not. I can't go hate on somebody doing the right thing because my mans don't like them. That ain't what's up. And then I can't call myself a real podcast and allow people to sit on my stage and say things unchecked. Now, that's a whole lot you can say bad about Joe Budden, but that right there don't cut it. That's just in my opinion. And then saying he need company is crazy. We done seen Joe Budden creating content in all different kind of situations. Even him on his own doing interviews or him just vlogging. Because that is how this shit started, ain't it? But I digress.
The Warrior Mall, and then he changed the name to the Joe Budden Show.
I think he at some point he tried to phase out and he'll dump all of them. It may be 10 years down the road, but at some point he's looking to do that. Also, I'll say this too. To me, you know, like I've been watching Joe Budden the last couple of episodes. You know, I haven't watched in a while. The last couple of episodes I watched, I said,
I haven't watched. I've been watching Joe Budden, but I haven't watched in a while. But I watched the last couple episodes. But you know enough to speak on them. This that fake shit. People always want to say what they ain't seen, but then talk to you in detail about what they don't like about it. So either you ain't been paying it attention or you have. But if you ain't been paying it attention, talking to me about it in great detail is bullshit.
Seems like sometimes that he's paying for a live audience. You know, like those people there are not necessarily co-hosts, but he needs to feed off their energy and he needs to kind of feed off them being there and laughing and saying things. But like you said, when he goes one-on-one with the camera, I'm interested in seeing how, you know, that translates into the market. I don't know if it goes as far as that. They have a thing, man, where it feels like they feed off each other. And that, granted, that is what podcasting is, but you know, I think that it says something when you can crank the mic up and one-on-one and people be interested. Like I did my whole career like that. You did too.
Well, you know, I think he could actually do an interview with somebody on a one-on-one.
I mean, I smell bullshit. And I'm glad, like, that's one thing I like about Tax, because he'll bash somebody and give them their credit. So he's damn sure about to get Joe his credit. This nigga, Loon, no disrespect, man, but that was bullshit, bro. You know, all of us turn these cameras on and get started ourselves, but the idea is to have other people to interview and other people to go back and forth with. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you was doing, I didn't know about you, hear about you until you start interviewing and the first time you kick dirt on academics. And that's how I heard about you. Everything feeds off the energy of something else or the exchange of energy. That's what life is. That's what life is.
Yes, they both agree.
Life.
That's it, and I think he knows that, and this is why he keeps company around. So you know, it's like the scared dude. They always got to keep 100. Like he's like, y'all roll 100 deep. I'll be like, they're scared to death. What you need 100 people for?
Yeah. So you don't think the one-on-one interviews he do are like with Nicki Minaj like that? Them ain't nothing.
It's dirt.
I feel like that was,
you know, just like you said, he needs the company to feed off him. I think dudes like officially icing them to have their own podcast.
You are watching It's Up There podcast.
I don't know. I felt like there was a little bit of hating on Joe Budden. I understand Tax's position. I don't know the big loon guy. I don't know what Joe Budden did to him. he seemed like he had a little more venom, like he seemed like he was opening the door for Tax to just go off on Joe Budden. I'm glad Tax ain't just do it like that. You know what I'm saying? We got to quit doing that. Everybody can't play every position. If Joe Budden a great commentator within the group and that worked for him, then he got to do that. He can't come out of where he's good at to play where you good at. And us expecting each other to do that is crazy. Because as soon as somebody come on your court and start playing your game your way better than you, now y'all fighting for resources. You could be king where you at and what you do, and he could do the same where he at, what he do. And we can all have our own. But expecting somebody to do what I do on their platform is crazy. I don't even want that. I want you to do what you do over there. I'm going to do what I do over here. Sometimes we meet and we do what we do together for the people, and that's what it is. All that other shit is for the birds. This is not man behavior. Shout out my man Taxstone. Shout out Troy Ave. Shout out everybody involved in that situation. I only know these guys as legitimate businessmen. So I don't have to go down the street road with them because I ain't committed crimes with them. And they don't know me as a drug dealer. So that's what it is. And we out. Side note. Legal gun carriers are not supposed to have their firearm inside of entertainment facilities holding people more than 2,500. So, if Tax was in there legitimate with that gun and did all the same shit, he would have still went to jail. We out.